Welcome, everyone, to our weekly football press conference. This week, the Blue Raiders head on the road to play Virginia Tech. Game time will be at 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 o'clock Central, and the game will be broadcast on the ACC Network Extra. So to get things started, I'd like to turn it over to the head coach, Rick Stockstill, and our student athletes will follow after he's completed. Thank you.
Thank you, AC, and appreciate everybody being here this morning. Looking forward to this week. Today's our off day, so just preparing and getting ready for Virginia Tech. So they had a great win last week or Thursday there against North Carolina. They upset the number 10 team in the country. So we're going to a great environment. It'll be rocking. It'll be loud. It'll be exciting. Virginia Tech's got a good football team, obviously. So we're looking forward to going up there and playing this game, and hopefully we can continue to improve in the areas that we need to improve on and get ready to play this game against a really good football team. Justin Fuente's done a great job there at Memphis when we played them, and now he's done a great job at Virginia Tech. So it's a good football team that we're playing. We're looking forward to it. So open it up to you guys.
Hey, Coach, Cecil Joyce here.
Hi, Cecil.
Hope you're enjoying your Labor Day.
I am.
Coach, talk about, obviously it was a defensive battle between North Carolina and Virginia Tech last week, but saw some good things out of Burmeister, Virginia Tech's quarterback. Talk about accounting for him in the run as well as the passing game.
Yeah, both teams, North Carolina and Virginia Tech, both really good football teams. Virginia Tech will probably be in the top 15 this week after that win. So they got good players, and their quarterback is good. He got a good arm, strong arm, can make all the throws. He's active. He can extend plays. He can do some good things in the run game with his feet also. So he's a really good quarterback. And you upset the number 10 team in the country like they did, and he played as well as he did. Just it's obvious how good he is. So he's a good player that we've got to be. We're going to play good quarterbacks all year, and he's another one, and just a good football player.
Coach Sam Doughton here.
Sam.
Turnovers were obviously a huge deal for y'all this weekend, winning the turnover battle 4-0 against Monmouth. And that was something that Virginia Tech did really well, was turning the ball over, getting Sam Howell into some tough situations. What did you see from them defensively that put them in good spots to get those turnovers?
Well, one, they're good players. They're disciplined players. They're really fast. They're explosive. Their front is very active. Their front seven, they put a lot of pressure on the quarterback, that enabled the back end to make some plays. And, they're good players. And, but the big thing is they play extremely hard. They played fast, and, they got after the quarterback and with their front seven and probably hurried him a little bit. Rushed him a little bit. There wasn't a lot of separation between their receivers and Virginia Tech DBs, so he had to be very accurate with the ball, and, they made plays. So I think all that, put it all together like that, enabled them to create some turnovers.
I saw Jordan Palmer was named Warrior of the Week on the offensive line for you guys coming out of Saturday. What did he do really well against Monmouth that you're hoping will carry over to this coming Saturday?
Actually, he was the offensive lineman of the week. Each week we do an offensive lineman and a defensive lineman of the week, because those guys don't get, the recognition, that the skill guys get. So I try to honor or recognize an offensive and defensive lineman each week. And he was very consistent. He played hard, did a nice job up there. Didn't have, you're never going to play a perfect game, but he didn't have, a lot of mental mistakes up there. His snaps were good. He just played very consistent, very tough, very physical, and did a good job up front.
Coach, playing on the road against Power 5 teams, obviously nothing new to this program, but this particular group of guys, how do you prepare them for the atmosphere that you spoke about earlier at Virginia Tech?
Yeah, I mean, one, we got a long bus ride, so we got to be able to handle that, and then being ready for a loud stadium. And they were extremely loud last week against North Carolina, and expect the same thing this week. It's going to be a whiteout game for them, so that's going to add to the excitement of the fan base there. And so we've got to do a good job communicating. We'll have a plan both offensively and defensively, from a signal standpoint, what we're going to do from a cadence standpoint. But we've got to do a good job of players have to do a good job of communicating with each other, and then they have to do a good job of being locked in on the sideline or from the field to the sideline, and make sure they're seeing the entire signal. When stadiums aren't as loud, sometimes we as coaches, you can yell at a player and get his attention. That's not going to happen Saturday because of how loud it's going to be.
Coach, this is Chip Walters. Bailey had the opportunity to play at Virginia Tech last year, but it was no fans in the stands, but he does have some experience against them.
Yeah, I mean, they're a completely different team, Chip, than, what they were last year. But yeah, I mean, he's been there. He didn't play in front of 90,000 people like he's going to Saturday. But, it's, once you get there as a competitor, you block all that stuff out anyway. You try to, and you don't get caught up in it. So I'm sure him, just playing there before might, calm his nerves, help him a little bit. But he's been there, all our guys, have been at these big stadiums before. So we're not going to walk in there and be intimidated by all that stuff. We'll just go in there and play our game and block all that stuff out and just focus on, the game. We can't control how loud it's going to get. We can't control how many people are going to be there. So once you step between those white lines, it's, you tee it up and play, and you don't worry about all that other stuff.
Coach, Chris Harris, how you doing, man? Hey, Coach, it's Chris Harris. How you doing?
Chris, I'm good, my man. How are you, bud?
Good. Hey, just talking about Bailey, I'm curious to know what you saw from him on Saturday, and maybe what more you need to see from him going into a place like Virginia Tech and competing against a team like that.
Well, the big thing, and I said it after the game, the best thing he did was he took care of the football, and we didn't turn the ball over. And when you do that, you give yourself a chance to win the game. And then when the defense creates takeaways like they did, that only enhances your opportunity. So, but the big thing is just, play within, the system, the offense, and don't try to, he's not going to win this game by himself. It's going to take all 11 guys on offense, all 11 guys on defense in the kicking game. So he doesn't need to be Superman. Just, play the game, let the game come to him, play each play like it's the most important play of the game. And the bottom line is you can't, when you go play teams like Virginia Tech, or you play top 15, top 10 teams, whatever they're going to be this week, is you can't give them extra at-bats. And when you do that, it just makes it that much harder to come out victorious, because you're not going to beat a team like this by turning the ball over. So we've got to do a great job of protecting the ball, and staying on the field. We got to find ways to make first downs and stay on the field to keep our defense off the field as well. So to answer your question, Chris, the big thing is just protect the ball and don't think he's got to do anything spectacular to win the game.
Stock, you had talked about having more production out of a traditional run game. Did you see some of that on Saturday? And where do you want to go with it?
Yeah, I thought, Chip, we tried to establish it. I thought each back that played, had some really good individual runs, but we just weren't consistent enough. And it wasn't, you can't just say the running backs. We weren't consistent enough in the offensive line and at the running back position to establish a more consistent running game, a more effective running game. I thought we ran the ball good at times. I thought we blocked good at times, but we just have to be more consistent in what we did. And hopefully you'll see that. And like I said, after the game, that's the first time, that in a real game situation, that Amir, that Martell, that some of these guys up front, offensive linemen, some of these guys, it's the first time they've played in a real game in a year. And you try to simulate that as much as you can in practice and in scrimmages that you have, but there's nothing that you can do to simulate a real game. And, so I'm hopeful now that, once those guys up front and the running backs, they played, they got a game under their belt, we'll be more consistent with our eyes, with what we see, how we run, how we block, how we do the things that we're trying to do, how the play, the blocking scheme, how everything works and fits together with everybody out there. So I think, Chip, that we'll be a little bit more consistent this week than what we were last week.
Coach, we didn't get a chance to see your guys attempt a field goal, but we obviously had a lot of extra points. And we saw both Zeke Grankin and Alex Ussery attempt those kicks for you guys, and we're successful, win 100% on it. Are we going to see potentially both of them kick this weekend, or is there one you're leaning more towards the other at this point?
No, it's kind of, Sam, it's kind of like what I said, with the quarterbacks, with Bailey and Chase. Both of them are really good players, and both of them are going to play. Zeke and Alex are both good kickers. Competition was really good, in August, and both those guys will continue to play. Had a chance maybe to kick a field goal there at the end, but I didn't want to do that. I'd just take a knee. There was no need to try to, put more points on the board and embarrass Monmouth or anything like that. So try to do everything the right way, and had a chance there at the end that, we could have sent one of those guys out to kick a field goal, but I didn't want to do that. So, but both of them, to answer your question, both of those guys will continue to, kick in practice, and both of them will continue to kick in the game until there's enough separation between the two that you can say that this guy is clearly better than the other.
Anything else for Coach?
But yeah, appreciate you guys. Have a great Labor Day here today, and appreciate you guys being on and everything you do. Thank you. Have a good week.
All right, everyone, we're now time for our student athletes. We've got running back Amir Razul and safety Reed Blankenship today. So we'll get started right now.
Hey, Reed, Cecil Joyce here.
Hey, Cecil.
Talk about, first of all, what you know from the Virginia Tech offense. Obviously, they have a quarterback you have to account for running the ball and throwing the ball. They were in a defensive struggle this past weekend, but talk about what you know about them.
They're a good team. They got a good offense. Like you said, their quarterback likes to make plays. We realize that if he doesn't have his first or second check down, that he's going to take off with the ball. So, you got to account for that. But, we just got to do our job, read our keys, and, finish strong with them.
Reed, Sam Doughton here.
What's up, Sam?
How you doing? Anyway, thank you. Talk about some of the success y'all had defensively this past weekend. As a captain, maybe it was a little slow going early on in that first quarter where y'all were bending a little bit, but you came back. You didn't allow any points until later, and had a pretty good day overall. How'd you feel about your guys after Saturday?
Like you said, we started off slow. We really didn't want to do that. We thought we were going to come out hot, but we just got to be more consistent with that. We got off the field a lot more this past Saturday, but we needed to work better on that. Our guys did great. We got a lot of turnovers. We win that turnover battle. We had 4 of them. It's pretty much 100% chance you're going to win the game. But our guys did great, and we flew to the ball. That's all we asked for. We preach that every day. But this week, we just got to be a little bit more faster, a little bit quicker, and just try to get the job done.
You have some experience, going into these Power 5 schools and winning on their field. So what are you telling your teammates this week about the level of play they have to make to get that opportunity in front of them?
Like I say, just got to play a little bit quicker. Can't really overthink this. It's just another ball game. They might have a bigger stadium than what we're used to playing in, but you just got to do your job. You're a D1 athlete just like everybody else. You came here to make plays, and when your number's called, you got to get the job done.
Reed, talk about the momentum you guys are carrying into this game. Obviously, you were expected to beat Monmouth, but the way you did it was obviously very impressive. So talk about the attitude and the momentum. Right.
That was a huge motivation after this past Saturday. Everybody's just getting back into the game day mode. I know it was different than, last year. Last year was so messed up. But, we know that we're playing next week, and there's not any chance that we can forfeit or anything. But, just that motivation, that drive that, we can do this, that we got a good team, we got a good defense and offense that, we just can't wait to play.
Virginia Tech's quarterback Burmeister has some dual threat capability. He's had a touchdown run and touchdown pass this past week. As a defense, what's the key to containing a guy that can beat you 2 different ways from the quarterback position?
That's one of the toughest things to do. That 11th man is pretty hard, but we're going to try our best. We're going to do what we can, and when he takes off with the ball, we're going to trying to get him down, try to tattoo him a little bit, let him know that we're here. But you just got to do your job and keep him contained. And I think our D-line, our front 7 can do that. I can't wait to see it.
Anything else for Reed? All right, Reed, thank you. Now we'll turn it over to Amir Razul.
Hey, Amir, Cecil Joyce here.
How you doing, Cecil?
Doing well, thank you. Amir, you obviously showed a lot of depth in the running game on Saturday. Y'all played, I think, 6 or 7 different backs. How important is that depth going to be against a defense like Virginia Tech's?
Very important, especially, not just for Virginia Tech, but for the season. Some of us may get banged up, and, the next guy up mentality has to, stay pertinent within the offense.
Hey, Amir, Sam Doughton here.
How you doing, Sam?
I'm doing great. Just for you personally, that was your first game since 2019 on Saturday. How'd you feel coming off the field after the game?
I just felt great, just to be out there, with my teammates. This is what we worked for. That win is something that we all we worked for, and just to be around the atmosphere at MTSU, it was amazing. There were some things that I have to clean up, as well as everybody on the offense and on the defense. But that's what we play ball for.
Yeah, I think, you heard Coach talk a few minutes ago talk about consistency in the rushing game and how maybe, that's something that needs to be improved on. From a running back perspective, what's something you've noticed, preparing for this week that y'all need to clean up going into Virginia Tech in particular?
Just knowing where to go and when to get there. I feel as though that's when that's one of the things that I think that I could work on, just slowing down a little bit, seeing the read, slow too fast through, and, everything will take care of itself.
Amir, is there anything you can help the younger guys with that are going into this hostile environment? Obviously, you have experience on these Power 5 road trips.
Mm-hmm. Just breathe, and you pray, so you shouldn't worry. If you pray, you shouldn't worry, or you worry, you don't pray. You got to trust, and you got to have faith. You walk by faith, not by sight.
Did you ever play Virginia Tech when you were at Florida State, Amir?
They came to Florida State.
So a little experience, but not at Lane Stadium.
Yeah, no.
One thing I noticed watching them play on Friday was their front seven, particularly their front fours, really active, really disruptive a lot of times, But what's some ways that y'all can counter that on the offense and make your job a little bit easier?
Just knowing the protections, knowing who has who and who needs to be on what side of the field at a certain time during a play. And just film study. Can't get enough of it.
Anything else for Amir? Thanks, Amir.
Got you. Have a blessed day.
Appreciate everyone today. And a reminder, we'll be back here next Monday as the Blue Raiders prepare to open up conference play at UTSA. Have a great day.